You were so close. You could feel it. Everything was aligned. The opportunity was real. The work was done. The moment was there. And then something happened. You procrastinated at the worst possible time. You picked a fight that didn't need to happen. You convinced yourself it wasn't ready, that you weren't ready, that maybe this wasn't the right moment after all. And just like that, the moment passed. And you watched it go. Maybe you told yourself it was bad timing. Maybe you blamed circumstances. Maybe you didn't even realize what you had just done. But here's the truth. You did that. Not consciously, not on purpose, but you did it. And if you've done it once, I guarantee you've done it before. And if you don't understand why, you will do it again. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you is the most important thing you will ever learn about yourself. If you already know exactly what I'm talking about, hit that like button right now and stay with me until the end, because this one is going to change things. Self-sabotage. Everyone talks about it, but almost nobody explains what is actually happening inside the brain when it occurs. It is not laziness. It is not weakness. It is not a character flaw. Self-sabotage is a protection mechanism, one of the most sophisticated ones your brain has ever developed. And here is the paradox that most people miss completely. The smarter you are, the more sophisticated your self-sabotage becomes. Because a smart brain doesn't just procrastinate, it builds elaborate, convincing, completely rational arguments for why right now is not the right time. It doesn't just quit. It creates a perfectly logical reason why quitting is actually the smart move. Your intelligence becomes the weapon your fear uses against you. Here are the 6 deep psychological reasons why smart people self-sabotage. Right at the moment of breakthrough. The first reason is the one nobody expects. You are not afraid of failing. You are afraid of succeeding. And I know that sounds backwards, so let me explain exactly why this happens. Failure is familiar. You know what failure feels like. You know how to recover from it. You know how to explain it to people. You know who you are when you fail. But success? Success means change. Real, permanent, irreversible change. It means a new version of your life, new expectations from others, new responsibilities, a new identity you haven't fully formed yet. And your brain, whose primary job is to keep you safe, reads this as a threat. Not because success is bad, but because the unknown is dangerous. And at the last moment, right before the jump, your brain pulls you back, not to hurt you, to protect you from something it doesn't recognize yet. The second reason lives deeper. Somewhere beneath the ambition, beneath the hard work, beneath the intelligence, there is a belief, quiet, persistent, immovable, that you don't actually deserve this. Maybe it was installed in childhood, by a parent who minimized your achievements, by an environment that taught you not to want too much, by a voice that said people like us don't get things like that. And consciously you've argued against it. You've worked hard to prove it wrong, but the belief is still there. And the moment success gets real, the moment it stops being a dream and starts being a reality, that belief activates, and it does something very specific. It makes you feel like a fraud, like you somehow tricked everyone, like it's only a matter of time before they figure out you don't belong here. This is called imposter syndrome. And for smart people, it is particularly vicious, because the smarter you are, the more aware you are of everything you don't know, everything you haven't done, every gap between who you are and who you think you need to be. The third reason is the most practical one. You have goals, big ones, but your identity, the deep internal story of who you are, hasn't been updated to match them yet. And here is how this creates self-sabotage. Your brain is always trying to keep your behavior consistent with your identity. If you see yourself as someone who struggles financially, and suddenly financial success becomes real, your brain creates discomfort, anxiety, the urge to undo, not because you don't want the money, but because having it feels inconsistent with who you believe you are. This is called identity-behavior conflict, and it explains why people who win the lottery often end up broke again, why people who lose weight often gain it back, why people who finally get the opportunity they've been working toward somehow find a way to miss it. The goal changes faster than the identity, and the identity always wins. Until you change it deliberately. The fourth reason is the most honest one, and the hardest to hear. You might be addicted to the process of trying. Not achieving, trying, because trying is safe. Trying means you haven't failed yet. Trying means the dream is still alive. Trying means you still have potential that hasn't been tested. The moment you actually succeed, or actually fail, the fantasy ends, and some part of you has been living in that fantasy for a long time. The version of you who almost made it, who had so much potential, who was this close. That identity is more comfortable than the uncertainty of actually arriving. So right before the finish line, your brain manufactures a reason to stop. Because stopping before the end means you never actually have to find out. The fifth reason is the one that keeps the most people small. You know on some level that succeeding will change your relationships. Not all of them, but some. The friends who are comfortable with the current version of you. The family members who need you to stay where you are. The partner who liked you better when you needed them. Success creates distance, and human beings are wired for connection above almost everything else. So unconsciously, you choose belonging over breakthrough. You make yourself smaller to keep the peace. You dim your light to keep others comfortable. You pull back at the last moment to avoid the social cost of actually winning. This is one of the most painful forms of self-sabotage, because it means you are sacrificing your potential, not out of fear of failure, but out of love for the people around you. And here is the sixth and deepest reason. Many people who self-sabotage grew up in environments where things never stayed good for long, where peace was always followed by chaos, where good news was followed by bad, where safety was temporary, and their nervous system learned something very specific. When things are going well, something is about to go wrong. So when success gets close, when life starts to feel genuinely good, the nervous system activates. Not because something is wrong, but because feeling this good has historically meant that something bad is coming. So it creates the bad thing first, to get ahead of it, to stay in control, to never be blindsided again. This is called the window of tolerance, and expanding it, learning to stay regulated when good things happen, is one of the most important and underrated forms of healing there is. Here are the 6 real reasons why smart people self-sabotage right before they succeed. Success feels more dangerous than failure. You don't believe you deserve it. Your identity hasn't caught up with your goals. You are addicted to the struggle. Success will change your relationships, and your nervous system was never taught that calm is safe. None of these are character flaws. Every single one of them is a protection mechanism, built by a brain that was doing the best it could, with the information it had, at a time when you couldn't protect yourself. But you are not that person anymore. And the work now is teaching your brain a new truth, that success is safe, that you deserve to arrive, that the people worth keeping will stay. That calm is not the quiet before the storm. It is just calm, and you are allowed to live there. The next time you feel the urge to pull back, right when everything is coming together, pause. Name it. Say it out loud if you have to. This is my brain trying to protect me. This is not the truth. I am allowed to succeed. And then take the step anyway. That step is the most important one you will ever take. If this video hit home, leave a like right now. Tell me in the comments, which of these 6 reasons is yours? I read every single comment. Subscribe for more. See you in the next one.